Hello everyone, welcome to our lesson, Language Structures and Conventions. And in this lesson, we're going to be looking at vocabulary that you're going to need when you're reading the humorous texts in the next two lessons. So let's look at some of the words. Our first word is open. I'm sure you know open. It's an adjective. And an open area is a large area that doesn't have any buildings. There's really nothing there, just a large open area, no buildings, no trees. I also want you to look at the open sea. Now this is a noun usually because we use it as a phrase, and it means the sea away from land. You expect the sea to be wide, and you expect to see little except the sea. Synonyms, you might have heard, we're on the high seas, or we are out in blue water. Our next word is the word self-help, and then also the instruction to help yourself. Self-help means doing things yourself. It means to try to solve your problems without asking other people or depending on other people. And you will see there are many self-help books and magazines or articles in magazines which tell you things that you can do at home. They give you advice on what you can do to help yourself in some way. For example, you could go to a library and ask for a self-help book on losing weight. And so there will be a section in the library or in a bookshop, and you will say to the person who's in charge, could you show me the self-help books or the self-help section, please? So these are books that show you how to help yourself without asking somebody else. But help yourself has another meaning. If I am serving a meal and I say, oh, please help yourself, I mean that you must take the food for yourself. You must serve yourself. So it's a very polite way of saying, please take anything you want. Possibly there are books laid out at the church, and somebody says to you, oh, please help yourself, we're trying to get rid of them. It means take whatever you want, serve yourself. What is your task for this week? I want you to use the following phrases in two sentences of your own so that you show you understand the meanings. And the two phrases are open ground and helping herself. You are going to write two separate sentences. Don't try to use both the phrases in one sentence. But I want you to show the meanings. In other words, if you just say something like, there is a piece of open ground, it could mean absolutely anything, or she was helping herself. I want you to make sure that the sentence that you write shows that you understand the meaning of those two phrases. Remember, start with a capital letter, end with a full stop, and make sure that you have a finite verb. Pause and do that task now. How did you manage? Well, here is my first sentence. There is the phrase that I asked you to use. So I've said there is a piece of open ground near my home. That doesn't really show me what open ground means, but look at the next part of the sentence. Where the children like to play soccer. You cannot play soccer if there are buildings or trees or bits of rubble and brick. So a piece of open ground must mean a piece of flat ground. Let's look at my second sentence. I'm just going to say that again. Let's look at my second sentence. There is the phrase that I asked you to use. And I've said she was helping herself to ice cream when she spilt her pudding all over the table. I hope that that sentence has shown that she was doing the serving and that she wasn't being served by somebody else. Check your sentences. Make sure that you have written correct English sentences. The grammar, the spelling, and the punctuation are all correct, and that you have shown that you have understood the meanings of the words. And go over the vocabulary because you're going to need it in the next 2 lessons. From me for today, bye-bye.